每次来芝加哥最开心的就是游船河，喝一杯啤酒，还是女儿买的，更开心。然后这一次住在这里，就这个 hotel， 这个 London 什么 hotel 了 ，whatever， 就住在这里对面，很开心。就是晚上走就来这里走走。
In its earliest days, it housed a lot of jewelry wholesaler showrooms, and in fact, one of the sales features.
其实每一个城市漂不漂亮，就看它有没有一个河，有一个河就在河的两岸来盖这个房子，就令这个河，令这个城市非常有生命力、有灵气。比如巴黎啊。巴黎也有一个塞纳河，意大利也有，罗马也有，不过罗马那条河好像不太那个。美国还有一个 Saint Antonio 也有一条河，不过那条河就很窄，不会放的很多。哇！
With it. So our first postmodern building, now straight ahead, will be seen on your left. The gray building with the silver accents and all of its windows and very squared off roof line.
这条河上面有好多个桥啊。
1989. Kevin Roche of John Dinkler is the architect.
这个就是
玉米 brought back some of that ornamentation and silver accents are called mullions, rather than just a light tan limestone. He brought modeled gray limestone for its facade. And as we emerge from under the bridge, if you look to the roof line of this building, particularly at the corners, you're going to be seeing that it seems to be held up by columns. So this is a nod to those early Corinthian columns of neoclassical. But these columns are a little bit more modern and kind of slimmed down. Now, Kevin Roche was born in Dublin, and he came to Chicago to study under Meads. So it's interesting when the student and the teacher take very different paths when it comes to design. Roche was one of the earliest recipients of the Pritzker Prize. That's like the Nobel Prize of Architecture, and won it in part due to his incredible talent at producing a very wide variety of designs, focusing obviously not only on the client's requirements, but also the physical context where his buildings stand.
这个玉米 building 下面是停车场，但可以看到车。
Some of you may have noticed a pathway hugging the river to your left. That's our river walk.
River walk 光在这里就可以玩好多天了，然后坐一圈船河，然后应该到海军码头那边。2万都是餐厅。
It's a 1.5 mile or roughly 2 kilometer stroll from our lakefront path to the place where the branches of the river called.
楼上是。
If you have time after the cruise, if you haven't done so already, I really encourage you to check out the river walk.
这条河上面好像有10几个桥，已经经过了3栋桥了。我已经来芝加哥 N 次，可能有10次。
We're going to stay on the left. Look for the first stone building after the shiny glass one. It has a tall middle tower that's kind of pushed back and 2 shorter towers in the front. It looks like a big throne or an armchair.
他就介绍这个导游在介绍船的2边有什么 building.
This is our first Art Deco building. Now, one of the characteristics of Art Deco is a quality called verticality. And that's the ability of a design to draw your eye sky skyward and make the building appear taller than it is. So it really emphasizes its vertical lines. Now, another feature of this building that has everything to do with when it was built, and not the fact that it's Art Deco, is that tall setback tower. So in 1923, there was a city ordinance passed to address what's known as the canyon effect. So any of you that have visited Wall Street in New York City know that there are some streets there that literally never see the light of day due to overbuilding. And we wanted to try to avoid that as best we could here in Chicago. So the ordinance stated buildings could rise to a certain height. They could continue to rise as long as that next section was pushed or set back. So you're going to see a number of those setback profiles in Chicago all around our downtown. So our next two buildings, both by architects KPF, are going to illustrate something called contextualism. And that simply means that there's some aspect of the design that gives a nod or pays homage to its physical context. So the first, if you look left and up to the building with the white domes, two white domes with two white skinny spires sticking out of those domes, that's 225 West Wacker. And look at what connects those two domes at its base. It looks like a white frame, and if that looks at all like a bridge, the designers were successful because that's a nod to the many bridges that span our Chicago River.
所以这个颜色特别绿。然后我上次跟人家讲，他们不相信。然后昨天我就问阿树来接我接飞机，他说真的是每年的 St. Patrick Day， 这个河就要演示。
Now continuing on your left, its neighbor, the glass, curvy blue-green building, also by KPF. This was 1983, 333 West Wacker. And you see the color of that glass.
哇，正在还在盖，你看。
Mimics the color of our river, with the exception of St. Patrick's Day and a couple days after, where it's a bright Kelly green. Our river is typically this kind of blue-greenish color, and that's due to the.
他现在就在讲这个 St. Patrick Day 要演示这个河。
Now you can feel the captain is starting to.
哇，现在这个 building 在那个在盖啊。
And you see the curved facade of that building is mimicking the curve in the river. As we come out from under the bridge, look left to the base of this building. You're going to see some stone massing. And that stone massing is covering up the mechanicals. It's a little unusual. We usually hide mechanicals up on top out of sight. But in this case, they had some concerns that the lowest floors wouldn't be desirable to rent. If you look to the right, you're going to see
芝加哥是我很喜欢的一个城市。
That's our elevated train track.
好在我女儿也喜欢，就是我跟她一起来了2次，她自己也来了好多次，我自己来了好多次。好了，这站就来到这里了。